The following production is part of the Play Some Video Games podcast network.
Hello everyone and welcome to this week's special edition of Play Some Video Games. This week, although we know Nintendo Shack has talked about it a bit, we've decided to continue to talk about one of the biggest titles of 2018, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. It is I, your host every week, Kevin, and joining me this week is the Nintendame herself, Caroline. How are you?
Good, how are you? The Dame finally gets to talk about Smash properly because I got ousted out of it was my birthday. I wasn't there, so I get to properly talk about Smash now.
That's right. And Donnie kind of shut you down because he was just complaining. Everyone was picking on him, for something we're going to talk about tonight, World of Light and how that works. But also, a new challenger approaches. The wild card Justin Warner joins the fight. How's it going, sir?
What up? Everything's great, man. I'm in a hotel room in northern Atlanta. I just put down the Switch to talk to you guys.
Hey.
Ooh, northern Atlanta. Which hotel?
I don't know, man. Galleria. I feel like everything is Galleria. The Wyndham Galleria. The Wyndham Galleria.
I know where it is. Yeah, I know where it is. You're a little bit south of me, actually.
It's a huge Pokemon nest. There are no Pokestops around here, but basically I can just let my what is that thing? The Poke Go Plus, the Go Plus. I just let that thing vibrate next to the nightstand. I just keep swatting it all night.
We've got a lot of Pokestops in the city. It's insane.
Yeah.
Cool. So before we dive into this, we do need to take a quick time out to thank all of our awesome producers over there at patreon.com/PSVG for your love and support of all things PSVG. It means a whole bunch to us. So make sure you guys stay tuned to the Patreon site for the latest updates, including very soon the highly anticipated, slightly controversial, and probably raunchy PSVG DLC episode that drops soon. Remember, you must be a Patreon supporter to be eligible for those special episodes, but any tier of the Patreon can get in on the monthly giveaway competition, even at the $1 level. As we know, Callow won Hollow Knight this month for Nintendo Switch, and the Board with Video Games crew will be picking next month's giveaway, and they will be in charge of pulling that name, so stay tuned for that. But anyway, let's do what he came here to do tonight, and that's talk all about Smash. So before we get into this iteration of Smash, I do want to talk about our personal histories with Smash Brothers. So leading into this game's release, how hyped were you guys for this game? Justin, I know you and I messaged back and forth a bit every time there was a Nintendo Direct dropping some news, but what's your history with Smash? Have you always been a fan? Were you foaming at the mouth for this one? Where did it all begin for you?
So N64 Smash, it was there. It was around. I didn't own the game, but friends had it. And I got it and we got it, but we were all more of GoldenEye, only basement, slappers only, sort of people. That wasn't our multi-party or multiplayer party type game, But then when Melee came out, dude, I wasn't a wave dasher, but I definitely who is Marth and why is he here? What is going on? What is this? Where is the internet? It hasn't really been invented that great yet.
Mm-hmm.
Where the hell what is going on? And so from there, I learned the term mycologist, as in someone who is a studier of mushrooms, from that game. It was in the accolades, at the end of the match, if you got more mushrooms than the other guy, you got the accolade of being a mycologist. I went ham on that game. It's honestly, I really think it's the only reason that I'm not to get too deep, but I think it's the only reason that I've made it into the stratosphere that I'm in is because I was dealt kind of a crummy hand out of high school, and then I just had a circle of bros and Smash Melee, and we just every single night, more. So then, Brawl came out. I took time off of work for that. I put up flyers around town to just come through my house and play Brawl if you wanted to. That was in Denver.
Nice.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. We only had one rando come, but everybody else was just what a freak. And then, when Smash Wii U came out, That was great. I loved it. That's a whole nother story about how many people have the Wii U, and is that a game that, like, does Wii U deserve the Smash, given that not a ton of people have it?
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, when it came out with GameCube adapters and that sort of thing, man, I brought out the hardware like every week when that thing came out, and we had cords all over the living room playing that game. And I honestly, now that we're at Smash Ultimate, I mean, it is the ultimate. Like, all of the memories that I have from way back when are now all brought to the forefront. And my friends and I that I used to play the Melee with back in the day, we're just like as hyped as we can possibly be. And like the nostalgia just like comes like roaring back. Like I popped a Pokeball on like day one, and Mew popped out, and I'm like, screenshot. That's a rare occasion, guys.
Yeah, no
that's
kidding.
a rare occasion. And I was playing it with some people who haven't like played the game before, and they're like, "What do you mean it's a rare? Well, like, why are you stopping the game right now?" And,
Yeah, big deal.
like, what, you don't know? But anyway, so needless to say, I was hyped. Like, I had a little kid I mentored. Actually, he's not a little kid. He's an adolescent that I mentored on grocery games. He's like, "Hey, I heard you play Smash Brothers." And I'm like, "Bro, I've been playing Smash Brothers literally since you were -4."
Oh, legit.
Oh, that's Palmer, right?
Yeah, Palmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was hyped.
It's adorable.
We got to get back and play that thing, because we were playing Fortnite last summer. We got to get together and play
Kids
some
really
Smash.
are kids that old these days? The original came out in 1999. It's crazy.
Yep, it was crazy. So I mean, I started N64 version 2, but same thing. Like, I didn't have a bunch of people at that time that would do multiplayer, like couch co-op style, in the N64 days, except for like Perfect Dark, GoldenEye, like we mentioned too. So I was in that same boat there too. For me, it got big with Melee, which was the same thing as a lot of people talk about. That was the penultimate version for me up until now. Spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, at that time, like Justin said, those were the early days of the internet. Ironically enough, I was working for an amateur video game journalism site. I was the head editor of the GameCube News, and I wrote the strategy guide for Melee and how to unlock all the characters. So it's like, it was really ironic that, flash forward all these years now, we've been doing for 3 years. But so yeah, I mean, Smash has always been a great thing, and I mean, it's one of the few series that have shown love to one of my favorites, Earthbound. Right from square one, where people are unlocking Ness and N64 going, "Who the hell is Ness?"
Who is
like,
kid?
And I knew, like, I was the person that I'm like, I know exactly who this is. I had that Mew Pokeball moment myself every time I saw Ness on screen. So, yeah, I mean, Smash has always been great. And I mean, this one I was super excited for. And in a year where, there've been a lot of great Nintendo Switch titles come out, but not necessarily the huge blockbusters up until, Pokemon Let's Go and this one, Smash Brothers, that they made us wait like the whole year to drop this much gaming on us at once to get the hype train off the rails, if you will. But yeah, so I've been excited to talk about this, especially now that I've gotten more time than the first kind of podcast we did like 2 days after getting the game. So I've got my hands down and dirty with this one for sure. But Carol, what's your backstory with Smash? When did you start?
I never owned the original cart. It was a rental almost every week at Blockbuster, along with the Mario Party series. So, like, in the times that we rented it, it was probably, we could have paid for a cart,
Oh yeah.
But yeah, back then it was just a rental kind of game. And then when I got a GameCube, and it was was it a launch title? I don't think it was a launch title.
No,
I think it came a little bit later.
Yep.
I had Luigi's Mansion, and then the next game I got was Melee for I think maybe my birthday or something. And from then on, it was a big deal. So what really turned me on to it then was I had just come off of my Ocarina of Time Zelda kick, and Zelda and Sheik were both in the game as interchangeable, and I lost my mind, so that was pretty much the solidifying moment, just aside from casually renting the cartridge from Blockbuster every now and then. I've owned them since then, and I was fortunate to inherit a cartridge from our marriage. Brian brought one to the table, so we have that. Unfortunately, no box, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Brawl, I was one of those kids that checked Dojo every morning before I went to school to see what uploaded at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. on their website every morning, just what was teased. When Sonic was announced, it was huge, huge. And then I guess flash forward to Wii U and 3DS. I bought both of them, and I enjoyed playing on Wii U more, obviously, just because I liked the oh my god, what's that mode where you collected all of the power-ups in the 3DS?
I didn't play the 3DS one. I only played the Wii U one.
Okay, there's one where you get a whole bunch of different like power-ups for attack up or speed up or something, and that was a nice little mode. It was good to buff your character that way. I unlocked everything, including all the DLC on both of them, but I found myself playing Wii U more just because it was the console experience. And now we come to this one, and of course I'm currently grinding out spirits, and I like it for you gotta collect everything type thing. All the music, all of the, we don't have trophies anymore, we have spirits, so all the spirits, you gotta do everything. So
you've been streaming this game pretty much every single day since launch for the most part. How many what's your spirit total right now?
I just broke 1,000 earlier this evening.
What?
Yeah, I did. I broke 1,000, and I think there's 1,299 as of them patching in Partner Pikachu and Partner Eevee. Which, if you have either Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee, if you just have a save file on your Switch, which I had both, you get that spirit for free. So yeah, I broke the 1,000
for free.
Yeah, for free. It only costs you $60, for that one spirit. But it's all good.
Actually, technically 120, but
well, yeah, in your case, yeah. But yeah, so as I told you, Justin, Caroline doesn't play around. So yeah, 1,000 spirits.
Gotta catch them all.
So you're a collector for sure. So you mentioned Brian brought the Smash N64 to the table.
He did.
Does he play the current one with you now?
Yes. You missed it on Saturday night when we were we did the Nintendo Shack PSVG Drunk Smash. And of course, I was just drinking. I had something weird going on in my eyes. I would have played more. Number one, I suck compared to Brian. Brian Brian, we found out, is pretty much Jason Lacey tier, I think, because he held his own with Jason on quite a few matches. So yeah, Brian's main used to be Marth. He's been pretty much dabbling with Marth since Melee came out. Mm-hmm. And then when Lucina hit in Wii U, he's like, I like Lucina. So he's pretty serious. I mean, I didn't give myself credit very much. He just like womps on me easily. And now having seen him in a big match versus tons of other people, including Jason, I'm like, okay, maybe I shouldn't feel so bad about losing to him because he could be like amateur level, just not quite professional. Yeah, he's pretty good.
That works. So Justin, I know you and the Missus often game together. Is she in on the Smash action too?
She wasn't until I unlocked Zero Suit, and then it was on Donkey Kong.
Oh my God.
And yeah, but I don't know, it was weird. It was like this, you need to go get me the trophy before I take part in this. So I was like, oh my God. And so that was one reason I got so into World of Light, was it felt like I could hunt down Zero Suit faster and not rely on the RNG of which character is going to come when. Mm-hmm. But because she straight up said I'll play when you get Zero Suit and then I'll dabble from there. But yeah, now that I have Zero Suit, she popped in and played Zero Suit 3 times, then hit random and started to play like anybody else. And yeah, she's a monster. She knows what's up. I wouldn't say she's anywhere near pro, but if someone walked up to her and said, hey, do you play Smash? She'd be like, yeah, Pikachu down B,
down B.
Down B.
She gets it, yeah. Whoa, what was that?
That was Pikachu.
My little impression.
That's impressive. I'm very impressed.
So we talked a little about it offline, but who's been your favorite characters to play with and why so far, Justin, on this new one?
Man. I mean, there's so much to love. As far as faith to character and just general energy, I think that the Inkling is a wonderful addition. I feel like as the newest IP, throwing it into Smash Brothers is kind of a bold move because Smash Brothers is time-honored, time-tested characters, and the Inklings are kind of literally the cool new kids on the block, right? And I feel like it brings a unique mechanic, but also it brings a unique attitude in terms of fighters within the game. Very cartoonish, very bombastic, Their Ink Grenade is one of the most devastating and annoying things.
Yep.
Yeah, the mechanic of having to refill feels like the inverse of dealing with Cloud back in the old day, and we were all like, "What is this Cloud limit thing? Oh my God, what's going on?"
Yeah.
Like same with Shulk and like being able to like switch up your like Monado arts or whatever. But I just think that it was like a very smart implementation of the natural progression of these characters, where there's this kind of like secondary skill set that you can have. But I think it's so weird, man. I feel like Simon, to me, like he feels like this like 8-bit, like axe chucking, downward fire hurling, like whipping, barely jumping, old boy, you know what I mean? And so like I just like I don't know, I guess maybe like I have a crush or something. I don't know, but I was just like I love this. I love the like static nature of his boomerang. It's not fluid like the actual boomerang. It's just like I go out, I come back, I am boomerang, I am 8-bit,
Yeah.
I don't know. There was just something great about the way that they designed that character. For me.
I agree. He's very much in the spirit of the original Simon Belmont, the way he loves, and he's one of my favorite new additions that I play with so far, for sure. The other one I've been digging, which I never liked in the Wii U, is Little Mac. He's a beast, man. Like
his recovery sucks too much for me.
His recovery does suck, but he's so quick, and then if he actually connects, he does some major damage. Like I don't know, it's impressive me. But my mains like are still, Ness and Lucas, and then oddly enough, the Villager, which everyone laughed at me for Wii U, but Don even said like I wrecked shop as the Villager, which made no sense. And then now Isabelle, because she's similar in nature to the Villager. Isabelle's OP right now. I'm going to say it right now. Like she needs to be nerfed a little bit. Like she's too good right off the bat. But yeah, so I mean, there's a bunch of these new additions I really dig, and some of these ones from the Wii U that I didn't really mess around with. I'm coming around to them. I'm warming up to a little bit. Like Sonic, it was always cool to see some of these characters in there, but the practicality of using them never really worked out for me. Sonic, Snake, like those guys, I was never into playing as them, but it was great to have them. But now I'm starting to warm up to a lot of different people this time around. But Kara, who's been your new faves in this one?
Normally I am a Zero Suit main, which is bizarre because I think it was a matter of I was unlocking everybody through World of Light. I couldn't remember I was literally setting an alarm to go off every 10 minutes to back out and try and do challenger approaches type thing to unlock the character. But I just found it was easier for me to progress throrough World of Light in order to unlock everybody.
I second that.
Yeah, man. So I love Zero Suit. I've been with her moveset since, I used to break Samus's armor in Brawl just to get to her. So, when they made her a separate character in Wii U, I was all over it. But I think because it took me a hot minute to get to her through World of Light, that I probably found myself maining other characters in the meantime. So I did play with Kirby for a bit, just because Kirby was there and, the first one that you access and stuff. But I found myself playing with a heavy, which I never play with heavies. I'm always I avoid heavies as much as possible. And I have just I wrecked shop pretty much the entire World of Light story with Donkey Kong. I don't know how I did it, but I got good with him. And his recovery has always been an issue for me, but I think the main thing of World of Light is they're trying to get you to try new kids, and it actually works. And I really just kind of got comfortable with Donkey Kong to the point that I beat pretty much everybody except the final boss with Donkey Kong. And then I got back into my comfort zone with Link, and I like playing with sword wielding characters a lot. And Link is pretty much just my main go-to. And it took me a little bit to learn his new mechanics, especially with the bomb and how you get the bomb to detonate remotely and stuff. But generally he's about the same. So, I've been pretty much playing with Link exclusively while trying to get stuff off the spirit board now. But yeah, it's weird how this game has kind of just shifted a little bit of stuff. They have changed the mechanics of some of the characters, but at the same time, they are just kind of almost pushing you towards trying new people.
Yeah, I agree. So let's jump into then World of Light then. So this is kind of where we decided to chat about this, especially was kind of the bad rap that a lot of the media is giving World of Light, saying, hey, it's not the story mode we thought it was going to be. It's, dull, it's repetitive, it's grindy, whatever you want to call it. There's been a lot of gripes with World of Light, but I think the three of us are kind of all on the same page in appreciating what it is. And I think Caro hit the nail right on the head with, ideally, I think it's a training program essentially for helping folks, quote unquote, get good with different characters. The progression level you have to unlock. Okay, whoever I have at the start, maybe I don't like any of these characters. Well, I'm gonna have to play as somebody, and the next person you unlock might not be the person you're looking for. So, might give them a shot and see what works. And I know for myself, much like you, I'm playing as people I normally wouldn't play with if given the option.
Right.
So I definitely think it's kind of a unique thing there. But let's talk about some of the pluses and minuses, the positives and the negatives. World of Light, World of Dark. Spoilers.
No kidding.
Justin, what's your biggest takeaways from World of Light and your appreciation for it?
Okay, so my appreciation stems from the way that I used to play the game. So when I was playing Melee with the dudes would like play their mains constantly nonstop, and just to kind of like irk them a little bit, I would play random, right? And so if I won with random, it didn't matter to me even if I lost, because if I won even once playing random, it looked like I had total mastery of the game, right? Like, I can beat you if I play random. You can only beat me if you play your main. So when I started playing random, it became this habit and this thing for me where I wanted to get good at every single character, or at least get mediocre at every single character, so that I could pull off this crushing defeat if I were to say end up with Pichu and destroy my man who plays Link. You know what I mean? He plays Link nonstop, and I randomly selected Pichu and just got it. Hell yeah, that's a win, right?
Yep.
And I've kind of always been this sort of I don't necessarily play to dominate. I play for finesse and play to insult a little bit and for the smack talking that comes with it. So when World of Light started with okay, you can just be Kirby, I was like, wow, this is hilarious, because this is what I tell every ex-girlfriend, just start with Kirby, you'll be fine. And I was like, Sakurai, do you know were you 16 once? Just play with Kirby, babe, you'll be fine. And so anyway, when you start off with Kirby, and then you get this chance to this is the first other character you can unlock, where do you want to go from here? It really kind of set forth this way in which I like playing, where it's I'd rather play somebody that I know nothing about or know less about than about somebody that I can main. Like you said, Link is pretty much Link except for the bomb. Yeah, well, I mean, since 1999, Link has been Link. Now suddenly, except for the bomb and the hook shot. By the way,
yep.
That same Link main kid got in the email thread and was like, "Well, and the hook shot." I was like,
actually,
yeah, okay, my dude. Wow. Anyway, so I think. Just the progression and the way that it kind of forces you to round yourself out a little bit and get away from being your main. And so, I went on a Twitter rant, maybe you can link to it, but, I went on a Kanye Twitter rant about how I think that this mode is good for really getting you to discover how diverse Smash is, because I think maining is almost pointless when there's 76 or whatever characters, why would you do that? That's only speaking 1/3 of a letter of the alphabet. You don't even know the letter A. You just 1/3 of the letter A. It's just such a massive game that I don't think it is beneficial to say I only play as one character. And I think that this is World of Light is a large kind of pushing experiment with, I think, good rewards and great execution to get you out of that. I think the spirits are rad. I think that certain battles are there for a laugh. I look at it like X-Files, Certain battles are there for the continuity of the series. Certain battles are just there for a laugh, and then certain battles are well, we don't really have much else going on, but do you remember this giant bee that was in this one game? Well, it's an all beehive battle.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe I work too much on television where everything is a stretch, but all beehive battles sounds like something we could do on grocery games,
That's hard. That's next April Fool's episode of Triple G, guys just bring out beehives.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm not surprised. So I think that it is a very smart mechanic. That being said, I played the game on hard. I think that there are a lot of people that have been playing Smash Brothers since 1999. They went in there on normal or worse, easy, and they're like, it's a joke, it's grindy, I just like KO everybody. But you put that on hard, call me when you get to Pauline, all right? Because I want to know how you deal with Pauline.
Oh my god.
Yeah, okay, look at your face. Yeah, I know.
At least 20 tries. At least.
Yeah, so like...
But it's so rewarding when you finally get her, you know?
That's it. That 100% is it. And I feel like that grooms you for dealing with characters or players in life that are like in real life that are better than you are, you know? I read some reviews where they're like, oh, I played it so many times, just threw my controller across the room. And I'm like, I don't know. I've played friends like that, you know, where like... If I could beat them,
try playing with your husband who's like that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I just think that it's a really good training ground that, like, just like a good trainer would do, they'll be like, hey, here's some easy stuff, and here's Pauline, like 5 reps of Pauline before you go on to something else, you know? Like, I don't know. I feel very strongly about it. I love it. I like it. I think it's the best way to unlock characters. And I think if you've been playing since 1999 and you're not playing on hard, you're doing yourself a disservice. Okay, I'm done.
I agree.
Mic drop.
It's tough being Kanye. Oh, so one thing you point out there too is the way it's training you to do something. It's putting you outside your comfort zone. It's making references to the old games, and it's a disservice if you main a specific character all the time. And World of Light breaks you out of the habit. I agree completely, because I kind of have this gripe too when playing online, and even some people in our community that are like, hey, yeah, let's play. Let's do the basic stage, no items, 3 stock. I'm like, that is boring. That's not what Smash is. Yeah. I'm like, Smash is a randomness mosh posh of you don't know what's going to come dropping out of the sky at any given moment. So anybody can win any match if you're quick enough, if you're smart enough, and you're just agile enough to grab whatever you can do it and chuck it, like, you know, just go. That's the beauty of what Smash is versus playing like a Street Fighter or an Injustice. Like, those are structured fighting games. Okay, I know if this person's going to do this, I'm going to combo it and counter it with this. Smash, that is all out the window, because you don't know what's going to happen. You throw a Pokeball, you get Goldeen and nothing happens, or, you know, you drop and get a devastating one. Like, it's just, that's the beauty of Smash Bros. Is that anybody can win at any time with any character. And World of Light preps you for those random encounters. You know, you do a match like the all Beehive match, like that's something you could never plan for ahead of time. So it's like, okay, we're gonna make you face it anyway. And that's part of what makes World of Light so great. Now, Wii U had that challenge mode that had essentially what World of Light is without the map and overworld structure thing. It was like, hey, you just had these ridiculous fights you had to do. And that didn't hold my attention anywhere near as much as World of Light is. Like, just because of that whole concept of like, hey, you're traveling around, there's different things you can do while playing these matches, is just a great thing that turned it on its side. And Sakurai knew exactly what he was doing, because this is something that will get those Smash players to just continue to play. Like, classic mode is amazing. I love that. You know, any retro Smash player is going to gravitate towards that. That's great. The online is great when it works. But World of Light is just something different that will keep me coming back, even if there's nobody, you know, available to play online against at any given moment, or if nobody in my house wants to play against, because I just wreck shop on my kids and make them feel bad and lower their self-esteem. You know, World of Light is just that substitute that keeps me going, and that's kind of what I love about it. And I don't mind the air quote grindiness, the long to unlock characters. I get some people's gripe with that, because the problem with Smash is they dangle that carrot in front of us saying like, hey, 74 characters. Oh, I want 74 characters. And then you put it in like, oh, I got 8 or 6 or whatever it was. And yeah, that can be a little bit frustrating, but I've always loved that pursuit of unlocking those characters in Smash. And we've never had as many to unlock. So I know Donnie had said, well, I want them up front. I didn't want to have to unlock, you know, 80% of the roster, whatever the number was. Personally, I love that, because that was the rush you'd get playing Smash from the early days. Was like a new challenger approaches, and you just like, you freak out because you're getting ready to take this on. And I get to do it over and over and over. Yep. There's still a couple people haven't unlocked yet, so I'm still getting that every day. And that's the beauty of it. And so I have no problem with that. But, you know, I've talked a bit. So, Carol, you know, what's your biggest draw on World of Light? Obviously, you've been wrecking shop over there, 1,000 Spirits. You've just been cleaning house.
So I wanted to unlock all the characters in the first weekend. That was my goal. And because it was my birthday the weekend that it came out, I wasn't able to accomplish that because I had other obligations and stuff. But I ended up getting everything unlocked by Monday night.
Yeah.
And it was because I 100%ed World of Light. And it's for somebody that loves the grind, loves the challenge and loves just the collecting. There's a reason that I've 100%ed this thing already, because it was addicting. You know, I just kept playing, and I don't know. For some people, I understand that it's, you know, you don't like the grind, okay, and you don't like that you have to unlock characters that way. But I think that for the way that it was put in as a way to throw a bone to those people that have been through Smash since 1999, and you've started with the original roster, and you have that original roster there to work with in main melee mode. But you know, for people that want to experience a challenge and go through the history of all of these games and all of these like Nintendo things, you know, they throw you all of these amazing battles through World of Light to get these spirits that I think people take for granted. Some of them are so funny. And the way that I can't remember just stuff that I even appreciate for being a huge Xenoblade 2 fan and not having any Xenoblade 2 inclusion aside from the spirits, but what they've been able to do. Like they made Nia, who is the cat girl with the white tiger character, yep. And they're healers, so she's automatically healing herself over and over. They put Incineroar as her tiger, and they've got the Mii costume for her. And I'm like, that's genius. You know, I mean, the fact that they've had to think all of these through for over 1,000 different spirits, they had to think and put all of these into something like that. Like now, granted, not all the spirits are in World of Light, but the overwhelming majority are. I think by the time I finished World of Light, I had 600, at least 700. But I don't know. I understand the other side where people are upset with it, but at the same time, I just don't I can't make their mind up for them. And for me, it's just what I kind of enjoy. And I know what I enjoy is not exactly normal or exactly sane, because I'm one of those crazy collector people. And I don't know. It has definitely been that, and the spirits, collecting spirits has been the most fun thing for me, obviously.
Can I say that when I was young, when I was playing Melee with my dudes, we would set up matches that were ridiculous, you know, where it'd be like, all right, guys, it's, you know, Sheik is our evil math teacher. King DDD is the English teacher, and it's just you with only Pokeballs. You can only call on your friends for help, you know, like, and so like we would set up, we used to call them scenarios, like, and it was like after we beat each other up enough, just like, you know, obviously having proven who's the best, who's not the best, etc. We'd set up these scenarios to just be like, let's have fun with it. Let's like make a laugh. And then like, you know, other people would like call the things and be like, all right, it's Patty Leisure. That was my biology teacher. It's Patty Leisure on top. Oh my God, Patty Leisure has the Pokeball. You should have gotten the Pokeball, young student. You know, like.
That's pretty funny.
You were shoutcasting before it was cool.
Yeah, we did. Like when there was no shoutcasting, we were like in my living room, just like staring at a Sony Trinitron, you know, like,
oh my God,
720p boys, like let's do it. But so when you said, you know, that they're making these battles for like thousands of spirits, like I think it's freaking genius, and I think it shows just how much imagination you can have, and this goes back to that maining thing, air quoting. That drives me nuts is that, like, if you apply just a little bit of your own imagination to this, they've given you enough tools that you can simulate 1,000 different possible ideas, possible scenarios that aren't that far of a stretch. Sure, some of them are, but I mean, who hasn't fought, you know, a giant honeybee thing in their life, you know, like. I don't know. I think that it just really shows the creativity of what's going on there, and I really don't think that team would have made 1,000 fights that were nonsense. I really think that people are just kind of like brushing over it and not really respecting it for what it is. That these are like little micro narratives that are written within a freaking fighting game. Like, name another fighting game with any narrative, let alone 1,000 micro narratives. You know, I don't know. I get too fired up, guys. You're gonna kick me off.
No, it's completely true too. Because even look at all the different scenarios they have, the micro narratives, the spirits, as we said, like they all tie into a story. Like almost every single time you see a spirit, it makes sense for that person somehow. based on the scenario they're giving you. So it all makes sense. It all ties back in. One thing that I do want to pick your brains about, because so the spirits are different. They replace the trophies, but obviously the spirits are different because they can give you advantages in battles depending on, not necessarily an online multiplayer because most people are playing with no spirits in that. But in the World of Light, they can radically turn the tables in your favor, or you can make it even worse for you if you want a real challenge. But they're a different aspect. But for me, I will say I do miss the trophies a little bit. I would spend, once I was done smashing for a while, I would go through the trophies and read the little history snippets they used to give you for every single character. And I am just a little bummed that they don't have that in some sort of aspect in this game a little bit. But
I actually did go look for that because I was going to show Brian the way that it was different. This is a complete merger, in my opinion, of what they used for stickers and Brawl, and trophies. But the problem is, I went and was expecting there to be a little blurb with a history of game, year, all that stuff, and there wasn't that. And I don't know if it's the fact that you've got all of these, like literally over 1,000 now. And that was too much additional work in there or something. But I mean, I do miss going through and flipping through my entire collection and reading about that, because that's where I learned about a lot of characters that I had never played games for before.
I mean, you look at, Justin said, the first time in Melee, when the Fire Emblem guy showed up, you're like, who the heck are these guys? And that was the only way you found out, was reading the trophy. Like, oh, Fire Emblem, what game is this?
They finally gave him an English voice this time.
Yeah, no, right?
It's been how many years?
And now there's like 20-something Fire Emblem people in this game. Like, oh,
I know.
I'm exaggerating there, but man, the Fire Emblem folks, they've probably been the most frustrating for me to unlock. They all seem to just wreck house when you go to when they challenge you and come after you. And it's always like, here's another one, here's another one, here's another one.
I echo your sentiments on the I wish there was backstory behind each of the spirits. I don't necessarily think that is something that couldn't be forthcoming. Like, I feel like, sure, we've asked Sakurai for everything, and Sakurai has given us everything.
Waluigi.
But that being said, I really feel like people are going to be... There are things that are missing here that people loved. There is no trophy anything and no data about this stuff. And this game is introducing people to not just, since 1999, but 30 plus, 40 plus years of like gaming. I mean, it has old, like, sprites from like before Nintendo was Nintendo.
Yep.
So I feel like, one, it's a disservice to not have any of that like backstory information included. That being said, if I'm scrolling through my trophies and I want to know who, say, I don't know, Balrog is, well, of course I know who Balrog is, or Lip. I know Lipstick, but I don't know where the hell Lip is from.
Penelope.
Yeah, okay, well, I'm just going to Google Lip and Lipstick, or Yuri Kozukata, who I think is from that Fatal Frame game. Just throwing them.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just taking guesses out here, I'm looking through them right now. But yeah, like, anyway, I know where some of this stuff comes from, but I would much rather have within the game to know where it comes from. Things that are missing. There's no break the targets, and I feel like
I forgot
when we talk about Ultimate,
those are fun.
I like break the targets. When we talk about
frustrating.
When we talk about Ultimate, I want to know where Sandbag is. I mean,
that's true. The whole derby thing.
I get that this encompasses every single thing ever, but those two modes were they were great to me because, like, maybe I'm not going to be the best Captain Falcon player ever, but breaking the targets, I could at least say, like, well, I at least know how to make him jump and kick,
That's a good point.
I love Falcon now. Falcon has been... I never thought I'd be a Falcon guy. Falcon guy, to me, is like... He's like a bro pick.
Yeah,
and I've never...
I just see him as Space Ghost. I mean, every time I look at him, I'm just like, it's Space Ghost.
I get it. And Space Ghost is, honestly, he's a bro. Yeah. And so, like, I never would have picked Seafalk, but because of World of Light, I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm going to pour myself a nice glass of Falcon Punch!
Oh my God, you would. Love it.
Yeah. But no, you're right. It's unique in that this game is 100% a celebration of the history of video games. Yet it's lacking a little bit of the history there. It's like I mean, you could have took out 30 stages and given me the history of the trophies, or the spirits rather, and I would have loved it. Like I would have been fine with that. But Sakurai gave us everything except for those couple things. But who knows?
Except for Waluigi.
except for Waluigi. But let's get to that. So we know we're getting some more characters. We know Piranha Plant's already on the way, so that was given. And then the Fighter Pass at the Game Awards, they announced the first one, and it was Joker from Persona. And I've given my thoughts on it at length. But Justin, I'm wondering your thoughts on this. Joker from Persona. Is that a fit for you in your mind? Is it somebody you even care about? Is it exciting for you? What's the deal with Joker here?
Well, so I've always wanted to play Persona games, but I've also heard that, like, hey, if you're going to play Persona games, like, set aside a solid 60 of your life.
Yep.
And so that's, like, just not, that hasn't been congruent with my life. Like, the thing I love about Smash, the thing I love about World of Light, is that I can pick it up, put it down. I was literally on set last week, and when I was fighting Pauline, they're like, all right, camera's up. I'm like, bye, Pauline. I'll see you next time. They're like, and everybody, that's a cut. And I'm like, cool, Pauline. So anyway, I need games that are like that, where I can just kind of have a little fun and then not have a little fun. So Persona has not really fit my lifestyle. That being said, from a distance, I've admired its art style, and it's super Japanese, which I'm obviously a huge fan of.
Right.
Great. Bring Joker in. Does that mean we're going to get Persona for Switch? Because that would be great for me.
Yep.
I mean, well, why would it, I just don't understand why you'd here's this great character, and also, you'll never be able to play this on any Nintendo system, but here's this great character. I don't know. So I think that, I'm hoping that that's indicative that Persona 5 is going to come out for Switch. But here's something I'd love to present that I don't know why anybody hasn't really put out into the ether, is that this is a 100% patchable game. If they wanted to remove assist trophies altogether, they could do it. If they wanted to remove Marth, they could do it. Anything that they want from here on out is possible. I predict whatever the fifth character is going to be Waluigi. Assist trophy is removed.
Okay.
I think that's a pretty safe bet, to be honest. I've been thinking the same thing.
Well, I mean, Isabelle was an assist in Wii U and Wii U only, because at that point she wasn't a character, period, until New Leaf.
Yeah. Yep.
So, I mean, she could have easily just been an assist in the data before, and then they just decided to make her a full-fledged character.
Yeah. So
I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah, I agree. So, Carol, your thoughts on Joker there? I know you're hyped to see if we get Persona on the Switch, as am I. But what's your thoughts on Joker being added for the time being?
I understand your take on it, where you think it should be exclusively, historical, a history with Nintendo type thing, and I totally understand that. I was kind of iffy about Cloud in the beginning, because when was the last time we had a Final Fantasy game? I realized that they did get their start on the Nintendo Entertainment System and all that stuff, but Cloud's game never made it to a Nintendo system, which actually now I think that they had plans for the Final Fantasy bundle or what have you for Wii U, and then when Wii U did the way it did, that's why Cloud was announced.
Smart cookie.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's why when Cloud was announced for Smash, they probably had the plans, but now they finally released it for Switch. See what I'm saying? So I think Persona is definitely Atlas and Nintendo are like this. So I think that it's happening. But I'm one of those people that's if you're going for a third party character, give somebody the bone that's had the history. And my biggest one is Banjo-Kazooie, because, Rare wrote the book on N64, just period. Their platformers were top notch. They had the games, and Banjo-Kazooie was, as far as I'm concerned, they were one of the mascots of the Nintendo 64
during that era. 100%. Yep.
And I feel that they definitely deserve a spot. I don't know what it's going to take for Nintendo and Microsoft to come together and be buddy about it, but I think they've had a good enough relationship recently, crapping on Sony. They did it on
Fortnite. Yep.
Yeah. So I think it's possible, and I hope it's one of the final four that's to be announced. But I do understand. I do think that other characters are more deserving, but I think at this point it's more of an advertisement, guess what's coming to Switch? I'm pretty sure as soon as Joker is announced, when it goes live, by the way, guess what's coming to Switch? I just think that it's too good of an advertisement marketing opportunity for them to not do.
Fair enough. So Justin, what's one of your dream picks that you think might be coming up then in the to be released DLC roster?
Oh man, that's tough. I wouldn't mind seeing, like, I know this sounds crazy, but like some of the characters you see from Mario Kart, like I wouldn't mind seeing like a Koopa. I know that sounds crazy, but like if you can play as Dry Bones, you know what I mean?
Plant's coming. I mean,
yeah, if Piranha Plant's coming, like I feel like you could like definitely have some fun, or like I think Kamek could be nuts, you know? Like imagine like a fully based magical character. I mean, we all know what it was like in Super Mario World to like dodge him throwing like square and triangle at you, you know, like you're like, what is this? Like that's magic? Like it's not runes, those are shapes. Yeah. But I don't know, I think that could be pretty fun. I think that you could have, you know, an Echo Fighter of the Koopa Kids, but with Lakitu, right? So the the clown car becomes the Cloud, and you know, that's then cool. So on and so forth. Yeah, I don't think that's too crazy to think about. You know, but dude, I've always been the kind of person that I just whatever they give me, I'm totally happy about. You know, like great, like I trust, and it's not good. I know that that's not a normal gamer thing. Like gamers like to say, like, well, I paid $60 for 5,000 hours of entertainment, and damn it, I want what I want. But I'm like, wow, I just spent $60 at the bar, and like that was 15 minutes of entertainment. You know, like
that doesn't take too long.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So I'm just like, I take what I can get, you know, and it'd be great if it was something that I've like loved previously in life. But honestly, right now, like Smash has already given me all the things that I love, and everything else is gravy. Like I don't know, they can't come out with like Mr. Game & Watch 2. You know, like I don't know, you know, it's tough. I mean, I know everybody wants what's that wizard from Super Mario RPG?
Oh, Gino.
Gino.
Yeah, I don't get that. That's fine. I actually I could see Paper Mario being pretty fun as awesome. As a Game & Watch Echo, right? Yep, you've got like two 2D fighters, you know? Yeah. I think that could be pretty fun, but we'll see.
Yeah, no, I like it. Banjo-Kazooie's always been one that I've always touted. I'm like, if you got Duck Hunt Dog, then I think Banjo-Kazooie could definitely work.
I'm also a big fan of my girl here, Shantae. She's been Nintendo exclusive since the Game Boy Color up until the most recent Kickstarter game, and I'm glad they brought her as a spirit. You know, they gave them that bone at least. So I don't know. I think her moveset is perfect. If you guys have played the game, her moveset is just absolutely perfect for a Smash game.
Yeah, I agree. Shantae would be great. I'd love to see Shovel Knight become a non-assist trophy and him get the nod there too. And then one I'm throwing out here from left field that I would like to see that I think could work too. And about time he got his spotlight, Captain Toad.
Oh yeah, little Toad.
That big backpack of goodies, just bring out like a shovel or the
make a Toadette, Captain Toad kind of switch the costumes up. Yeah.
All right, so Captain Toad, I'm with you, but the thing is, Captain Toad can't jump. Here's the thing: I'd love to see a player that cannot jump. I think that would be hilarious. Say he's the heaviest character of all, right?
Which makes sense. Like, he's got that giant backpack. Yeah,
he's like 3 times Bowser's weight. You know, like you cannot launch him. But that being said, when he sees a platform, like, oh my god, it's over.
that Pac-Man scrolling screen level, you're screwed. Oh, that would be great. That'd be great.
Have you guys noticed though, real quick? Have you noticed that Toad's role? I just started playing as Peach, and now it was common knowledge that like when you pull out Toad, now he's like ready to defend Peach with that standard B, the neutral B. But when you grab, Toad comes out and just punches square in the nether region.
I have not seen that. That's hilarious.
Oh yeah, you zoom in on it and you're like, damn Toad, ow, like how you gonna do him like that?
Well, I mean, he's at a height disadvantage. I mean, it's really, you know, he's probably gonna reach up to even get that high. So
yeah, I mean, you got to see it because it's like it's real. Like I don't know, especially if you play like Peach versus Snake, you're like, oh damn, Snake, you just got wrecked. Yeah, indeed.
That's awesome. So yeah, I think it's pretty safe for all to say that this truly is the penultimate edition of Smash Brothers, and it's hard to imagine them doing another one that's really bigger and better than this. Like, what you cannot do more and make it that distinguishable much of a difference. Like, yeah, okay, Nintendo's next gen console comes out and they need to do another Smash Brothers. Okay, what more could they possibly do? They're just gonna throw in a couple more characters. Like, there's nothing you can do to add to this. I don't see. It's
or
just
add
insane.
and balance. Period. That's all you can do.
Yeah, which is just 100%, as Justin said. Like, this game can just be patched. Like, you don't need to release another version. You can just update it as it goes along. When something relevant comes out, if Nintendo comes out with a new flagship mascot they want to push, okay, make them a character. Just release it. Like, just go that route, and they'll be set to go. So, yeah, I guess final thoughts then on Smash, Carol.
I'm still playing it. When I get all 1,299 spirits, I'll let you know.
You're reserving all judgment till every spirit is caught.
Oh no, I mean I'm having a blast. You know, it's just one of those games that I knew I was going to love because I've had a history with the series, and yeah, it's what I was hoping for, and you know, it's giving me more amiibo to collect. It's giving me more characters to get hyped for. You know, they're gonna do this for the next year. You know, with the other 5 for sure. Already bought the DLC, so I'm just enjoying it. More Nintendo fandom for me. Yay!
Of course, that's all you deal with.
Yeah.
The fandom. So, Justin, your overall thoughts then. Let's tie it up with a nice little bow.
So this is the first Smash and actually the first Nintendo Switch game that has ever been pick up and play and put down for me. And for that reason, it's like I got the digital, but like it's never going to get ejected. It's a game that whether I have Wi-Fi, whether I have friends, you know, whether I have anything, I can always find something to do in it. And I don't think you can say that about the greatest hits roster that you have right now. I'm looking at I got my like games like lined out in front of me. I'd say the closest to that, honestly, is probably Mario Rabbids, where it's like, okay, I'll just do one level and be done.
Yep.
You know, this is the kind of thing where I can play literally for a minute and a half, feel a sense of accomplishment, and put it back down. And I think that for a lot of people, that's the kind of game we want. I feel like, and now that when I look at World of Light and when I look at like the Smash board where it's like things change periodically every 5 minutes, there are certain mobile elements that they've put in here ever so quietly that I think make this like not just the must-have like game, because obviously Smash is a must-have game, but I think it really kind of shows you what having a great game manifested portably can be.
Yeah.
Amen. And hopefully Sakurai is somewhere on the beach right now with a nice drink and just relaxing for a little bit. I hope that guy's health gets a little bit better and he can relax a little bit. Let somebody else handle the DLC characters. You've done good, Sakurai. Take it easy, bro. So, with that being said, I think we're about wrapped up here with Smash. So, before we go, Caroline, where can people find you? Anything you'd like to plug?
Twitter and Twitch at the Nintendame. I stream daily from 3:30 to 5:30, thereabouts, and on weekends, depending on when I have time. I've pretty much been doing nothing but Smash recently. So if you want to see me grind out some spirits, come and join me there. Otherwise, you can catch me in the PSVG Discord and on the Nintendo Shack every Thursday.
There you go. Justin, sir, where can people connect with you or anything you're up to that you want to plug?
People can find me on. Sorry, I just unlocked Luigi.
I was like, did you just get arrested?
I was about no. I was like, is he doing his own Challenger Approaches music?
I just unlocked Luigi. People can find me at Eat Fellow Humans across the board on all sorts of things. You can hit me on the Twitter and DM me on Instagram, and we can swap friend codes. Other than that, you can see me, I think, in a week on a Wednesday. I don't know the exact date, on Grocery Games on Food Network. Other than that, The Laws of Cooking and How to Break Them is a book that a lot of people own and love that you could also purchase for your friends and loved ones for this holiday season.
I was actually going to plug that. It's currently on sale on Amazon right now for under $30 too. So
nice.
Hey.
I'll put the link in the show notes for anybody listening that wants to click in and check that out. I highly recommend it. I cook from it.
There is a Smash Brothers reference in it. There is a Smash Brothers reference in that cookbook.
What? I need to find it now.
It is that. It's a Down and Beat Pikachu reference.
Oh, it is?
Like, you know, yeah, sometimes you need a recipe that's just Down Beat Pikachu. You know, like.
Oh my god, that's hysterical.
Oh, so there you go.
It just wins. You know, it just wins.
That's awesome. You always find a way to slip in the video game references. I love it.
Try to.
Yes. So
Maybe.
this is the final PSVG episode this year because we're running towards Christmas time. So you're hearing this episode drops, Christmas Eve, I think? Oh, Christmas Eve, actually, this episode will drop. So everybody, on behalf of everybody here at PSVG, we wish everybody a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Kwanzaa, Festivus for the rest of us, whatever you celebrate, we wish you the best and enjoy some family time. But more importantly, as always, we hope that you, between all the family fighting and your weird Uncle Fred that looks at you odd from across the dinner table, that you find a way to never stop gaming.